Hey everybody, how y'all doing? All right. Hope everybody is well. Just getting into the house. It kind of started thunderstorming and lightning for a minute over here. And then my light started flickering. So I had to make sure that my internet was going to stay, that it wasn't going to get disconnected. But it seems to be all right for right now. I hope everybody is good. What's going on? Hey Reese, how you feeling? Hey Stagner. All right. I probably will put this message in the community. I'm hanging in there. I'm doing good. Had a lot of very grateful of news that I got today. So I can understand today's message also. So a lot of stuff probably also will start resonating with you all. But far as my moderators, this is what's going to be a change for this fall, this winter, and going on. As long as you want to be a moderator, it's not nothing big. But when I'm calling out these retrogrades, when I'm calling out these moon signs or these moon shifts, when I'm calling out, and of course, it's always going to be Vedic, okay? When I'm calling out transitions or retrogrades or solstice or anything regarding like movement of the planets, when things go retrograde, when another planet move into another sign. When I am calling out this, I want y'all to keep some type of backup or small book, small journal for me. Because part I feel for my channel is my moderators because y'all know when I'm channeling, sometimes I forget. Okay. So I need to, if I'm able, if any one of y'all are on here and you have a wrench and you are a moderator and I ask you something, you should be able to remind me. Okay, because that's going to be important for you, for me helping you or helping with suggestion and advice. Now, some of you may not always be, on when I come on, but that's why I have a lot of y'all that are moderators, the ones that I trust for my channel. Okay, and so if you're also able to do any type of research, if I haven't found out what full moon is in what zodiac sign or something like that, then I should be able to ask one of y'all, because most of y'all has been with me for years, a couple of years now. Okay, so you should kind of already know how to read these cards too. And you should already know a little bit about 2 or 3 weeks or last month when I told you that the moon will be in Cancer in August. Okay, so you should have, or will in the future have in your notes when we get in August. For example, if we're in June, and I told you in June that when the moon gets in, moves in August, right? Then you should be able to look through your notes. And when we start readings in August and I ask you something about the moon and I forgot, then you should be able to write it down. Now you're also able to add any other notes that may be pertinent. Okay. So that's what I want y'all to start helping me out with. If you're not really able to do it, I can understand. But I'm just not letting y'all just be moderators just so y'all could just block people. Not for my channel. Okay, you got to help me out in some type of way. Okay. But it's nothing heavy, like right now, Jupiter is retrograde in Pisces. So you get some paper, or if you got an old type of book or journal or some type of notebook, a kid's notebook, or, some type of book you don't use before and it got a lot of notebook paper in it and you're not using it for nothing. Okay, Reese, thank you. Just write it down. Because let me see. Jupiter went retrograde in Pisces on July the 28th, and Jupiter is going to stay retrograde for a while. Okay, hey, Ghost Warrior. All right, so Jupiter and Saturn is going to stay retrograde, and it's going to be like a form of reversal of duties and fortune. So if you have been on the less type of fortunate side, okay, and you have been doing a lot of the work, a lot of those roles will start to be reversed. It really started back in July on the 28th when Jupiter went retrograde in Pisces. Okay, so Saturn and Jupiter is going to stay retrograde from July the 28th up until October the 22nd. So also this helps you, right? So am I giving you these messages as my moderators? This also helps for you to keep this information for yourself, right? This is helping you with things that you need to know while you're doing your everyday practices. When it comes to type of decisions that you're making, you know, if you want this to be something that you want to consider, instead of waiting on a reading, I'm giving you times and dates and movements about things that's already going to be how it's, you know, kind of going to be set up for you. So by you knowing that Jupiter is fate, Jupiter is also, when you're on the bottom of the wheel, okay, it always got to turn up at some time. It's a circle, right? So what goes around comes around. So if you're at a bad point right now when it comes to money and finances and career, it's got to go to the top of the wheel at some point of time, right? And depending on who you are as a zodiac sign, you could be at the top right now. So while I'm telling you that Jupiter and Saturn will be retrograde from July to October, they can already give you a time span about your money, when your money will start to decrease, when I don't want to say it's just depending on your whole fortune of your life, you know, but when things are going better for you, you'll see. But you also know during that retrograde time, it may be the opposite for you, right? That things may start to decrease. Okay. So they give you a window of maybe when you need to start getting more money, start saving a little bit more money, putting more money in this account, or putting more money toward, you know, instead of paying 6 months of every month insurance, maybe when you get a larger set of money, you may want to pay the whole 6 months off. Because if 10, 9, 8, 7, so during that time, you know, you'll be less, you know, less things coming to you. Okay. But that's just an example, right? Now we have also Mars that just entered Taurus, or is on the brink of going into Taurus, right? Because that will be on August the 11th when Mars will officially be at a greater degree in Taurus. Okay, so Mars is going to be moving pretty quickly here. Y'all already know that we're in Cancer right now, so you could put that the sun is in Cancer. But August the 15th through September the 16th, the sun will be in Leo. Okay, so when we start doing more readings around the middle of August, you'll start knowing that we're talking more about Leo and that the sun is officially in Leo. We also got, I may just type some of this up and send it to y'all as email, but that's enough for right now. So I just want to make sure y'all know that of what some of your duties is going to be. Okay, because a lot of times I go blank. And I need one of y'all to have my back, okay, as being a moderator. All right, so we had 1 and 8 to come out today. So that's first house of Aries and the 8th house of Scorpio. As you already know, first house is going to be like first house, you, yourself, and I, right? Also consider that as the sun. So we have now the sun and 8th house of Scorpio, and 8th house can be endings, just like 12th house of Pisces. 12th house means when it gets to the 8th house, because you got to go from 8, 9, 10, 11, and before it get to 12th, Pisces. So that's a window of opportunity for you to keep working with a transformation on whatever that is for you. whether it's a self first house transformation, whether it's about career, home, money, okay, relationship, marriages, whatever. Okay. So that gives you time before it can be a complete ending to 12th. Because I don't want to bring this up, but if they put it in my head, I have to say it. Sometimes 8th house can be death. Now 12th house is death also, but it's an opportunity a lot of times for people to change the things that they are doing, the things that they're involved in, the people they're around, their environment, okay, to curve that. You understand? Before it continues to get to the 12th house, because 8th house is transformation. It's something that is being shown to you in whatever area it needs to be about whatever, right? That something is not stable. It's trying to show you that something is not as stable as you think it is. Now, a lot of people like to stay in la la land and try and ignore it. And it also could be health scares, right? People still keep doing what they're doing, ignoring it, right? And so the transition of it turns into a full transformation and continue on from 8 through 12. And then it does a complete ending, right? And then you don't get a reset to first house. Because remember, the Fool card is a 0. So you stop at 0 and then you go back to 1. So this is what we do every day, 365 days a year, that we keep having a death rebirth. Mm-hmm. But then sometimes some people don't make it back to a reset, whether it's at their hands, at the hands of other people, accidents, all type of stuff, or it's just their timing, divine timing. So again, it don't have to, it says first house here, but this also could be a transformation about you, the way that you think, because we also have perspective here that came out. Okay. So this can be an end to something that you have been needing to change, or, a perspective about. Maybe you had one set way of only thinking or looking at something or believing some type of belief. And now it's asking you, or you're starting to see that your change of perspective is needed. Because if you don't maybe change your perspective about something, this can turn into a total ending, right? You know how, I'm gonna give another example. Some people know that it's time for them to go, that it's time for them to move, for whatever the case. Maybe they've been feeling in their gut, in their spirit, I really just want to leave here. I really want to try and live. And I'm just using this as an example. This also could be about a job or a relationship, a friendship, getting back in touch with a sibling or a mother or a father or a child that you have not talked to, whatever it is for you. It's like your gut or your conscious mind keep telling you, it's time to do it. It's time to do it. You keep thinking about it. You keep altering your perspective. Am I ready to start back dating? Do I really want to be bothered with anybody? Do I want to fall in love? Do I want to get married in the future? Do I really want to be alone and not just date at all? Do I want to go back to school? I know if I do, it'll help me with a more stable career, a more stable income for my next 10, 15, or 20 years. Whatever it is for you, is here for the change. 1 and 8. Now remember, 8th house of Scorpio also is about all or nothing. It's nothing in between, right? So either you're going to be all for it, Aries first house, which is your whole personality, appearance, body, spirit, soul, persona, okay? Everything, your ideas, your actions, you're putting really real actions behind it and into it, or it's going to be 8th house, nothing at all. So it's kind of like it's coming down to a nail on the head where it's time to finally make a decision. Now, this can be about the way that you eat, first house, because that's also your body. Can be your mindset, because it also has the way that you project yourself. So the way you project yourself is also pertinent to your perspective right now. This also can be the way that maybe you depend on somebody else for emotions, nurturing, caring, physical care, whatever it may be, and you like, oh, they're always going to love me. They're always going to be there for me. Oh, they're always going to take care of me. Oh, they're not going nowhere and all this, that. So your perspective is already set in stone of how you view a certain person. But when the 8th house of Scorpio comes out, this is about you obtaining your personal power back, or you're allowing this personal power to be taken from you and totally given to the other person. Because now this other person is going to control you, first house. Whether it's a good control or bad control, everything is not bad. It just depends on what this is for you. And I can't really pinpoint and determine what it is, because this is a general. All right. So this is also, some of you may be dependent on other people's resources, which can be other people's money, transportation, using somebody else's car, living with somebody else as other people's resources. This can be, sharing something with somebody else that you're giving them help. This can be, volunteering. I don't know what other people's resources may be to you. Okay. Now, this also could be either you're going to use somebody else's resources or you're not. So what is your perspective about it? Now we have vulnerability, and top of the deck over here, we have movement. Okay. So again, it's time for you to move. It can be literally, because 8th house is a change. It's a sudden shift. It's a change in your perspective. All of a sudden, that now I know what I want to do. I'm going to put the action behind it, and I'm just going to do it. First house. Now, remember that first house also is Aries, right? And Aries is Mars energy. And Mars just went into Taurus, or will be in 2 days. It's getting into a more higher degree, right? By moving into Taurus. So Taurus is second house, which is your money, your savings, your family, home, besides Cancer, 4th house. Taurus, second house, and 4th house of Cancer both represent home. Okay. But it's also what you value, family values, monetary values, career values. Does this job value me? Will I value that job? Your family members, do they value you? Do they appreciate you? Perspective. So it can be, that somebody may be changing your perspective by communication, because Mars is at the 3rd card down and Mercury is in Leo right now. So this can be also for some of you a reevaluation of a dating process, or begin to date, or what is your perspective about a person that you already met. Now, 8th house of Scorpio also is career. Slightly, it's work. It's about how much work you put into something as dedication. So let's go ahead and get your cards here, because I always want to keep reminding y'all. 8th house of Scorpio also is secrets. It's gossip. So if you have been going through that with a friend, or, with family members, with next door neighbors, we have a lot of people around the world that really connect or is best friends with their next door neighbors. That don't mean that they're not gossiping to everybody else in the neighborhood about you, especially when you stay in apartment complexes. You know what I mean? So For some of you, it can be some things that are released, such as secrets or gossip. Something that you need to know that's going to help you to do this transformation or move, right? Now, it could be also good gossip, y'all. Well, I heard that this apartment complex is doing a waiting list. And maybe you're wanting to find something that's income based, right? So they can go by your income. Well, I heard that apartment complex is signing up people for a waiting list. That's gossip, 8th house. Because that's going to help you if you go and sign up Mercury, which is information, right? And Mercury is in Taurus, and Taurus is home. Then you need to do movement. You need to go and sign up. And I'm just using it as an example. You understand? Because that transformation that you do now as putting work and action behind it, first house of Aries, is going to help you, right? While Jupiter is retrograde in Pisces. Because you doing that now, having the vulnerability to open up and to look at something that your situation is not as stable as you think it is. And again, this is just an example, but it may be true for somebody out here in the world that see this video. Okay. So if you put the action in and about it now, the transformation will be better. The transition will be better. And it won't take you, if you don't do nothing about it, it won't take you fully to the 12th house and then you're evicted. You understand? All right. And again, that's just a example. All right. Now, some of you are really going to have to clear the clutter. Okay. It keeps telling you to clear the clutter. Some of y'all are physically moving. So you're going to have to be vulnerable to get rid of some things. Just keep the things that are very valuable to you, the things that's very close to your heart. And you're going to really have to clear the clutter. Okay. It's time for you to minimize here. Now, something that you need to know, some type of information that you're waiting on is coming. Okay. With the 8th house here. Now, nothing is really going on in Scorpio. Not as of right now. So it's just about, I don't want to say a regular change, but it's just about change. It's time. It's time for a major change. Now, major changes are birth, death, getting married, getting divorced, severe health ailments like surgery, learning of some type of news when it comes to your health, learning that you may have some type of health ailment or some type of sickness or disease or something like that, right? Those are major changes. Those are major change when you have children or finding out, giving birth or finding out that you're pregnant. That's a major change because that's another human being for another 18, 20, 25, 30 years now, right? Other major changes can be moving from your country to the other side of the country, but you get what major changes are. All right. Also leaving a job that you never thought, vulnerability that you would ever leave because you got so comfortable. But it's some type of awareness, okay, that you're going to find out that it's time to go. All right. So we have the man. So this also could be a separation, but it also could be a man coming in. Because some of you have not been dating or don't want to be in love. You don't want to be vulnerable right now. And your perspective about relationships or opening up to start dating. All right. Because I told y'all yesterday that a lot of people, don't get mad when divine feminines, a lot of masculines will start to try and talk to you, will start to notice you even more. Okay. And divine masculines, you also will start to get the urge to want to go out and date and ask divine feminines for their number, especially when that sun, like I said, next month or in the middle of August goes into Leo. You're going to automatically start feeling that energy. Your perspective is going to change. And there go the stallion from yesterday. Breaking free. Whatever breaking free means for you in your life. If you're moving, if you are breaking out of your same old way of thinking and you're ready to see something or something different, and you're changing your perspective about opening up, going out a little bit more at whatever safe practice that you want to, you're deciding to, accept an offer for brunch, breakfast, dinner, date, coffee, whatever it is for you, tea, matcha, right? And stronger emotions, desires. Now, strong emotions don't have to be about intimacy or sex. It can be your strong desires about yourself. Okay? Because your strong desires or your strong emotions, some of you are gonna be kind of scared of it, because that's gonna make you feel like you need to be open up and that you have to be vulnerable. And we don't, a lot of time we don't want to open up. We don't want to be vulnerable because we don't want to get hurt. So this is also why you have a closed mind and the same way you think about something, which is a steady way of one perspective. Now, some of you also can have a whole bunch of different perspectives. So that also can be wild. So it's time to reel that in, okay, and get it limited down to maybe one or two perspectives. Your next things is, what is it that you desire? What do you desire about yourself right now? To go. That may sound weird, but you're just ready to do something. You're ready to go somewhere. You're ready to meet people. You're ready to, get some type of recognition. Some of you are ready to go back to work, and you're ready to put more dedication into working in your 8th house. Some of you are getting or will be getting a lot of drive force, especially if you're a Taurus, because Mars is in your house right now. Okay. So it's like you just want to break free. You just want to be, I don't want to say wild, but your mind also could be very cluttered. Why they keep telling me to clear the clutter. Right? And you just want a break. Maybe some of you want a vacation. You just want a fresher breath air. And some of you may already be in a relationship. So your perspective could be changing about, you know what? I don't want relationship anymore. I just want to be motivated to, or be able to do more things for myself right now. And some of you may be traveling. You may be thinking about traveling or vacation, or you're about to break up. You're about to break up. Is that the cat with the yarn? Yes, it is. Complicated circumstances. Is somebody stringing you along, or are you stringing somebody along? Because you rather break free. But are you scared to really tell this person that I don't want to do this anymore? A stallion or a wild stallion, you can't put any type of, stuff on them to ride them as a rider. You can't even hardly catch a wild stallion, right? You can't bridle them. So it's kind of like, are you understanding the real perspective now that somebody is trying to keep you tied up so that you cannot break away? And I hope not literally, okay? So, like I said, stuff is unraveled or is unraveling. Okay, but some of you also may still get tangled up in something. So this is why the Scorpio energy is asking you, are you all in or are you all out? Some of you already know that something is not stable. If you know you don't have a job and you got a billion bills, and whoever other resources, bank account, money, transportation, getting from your parents, your sister, a boyfriend, a side piece, whatever, or whoever it is, that's not stable enough. So it's time for you to change your perspective, right? Before this starts to crack down on you, okay? I'm not going to tell you nothing wrong. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just because it haven't happened yet. Now, this also going to be a time for you very soon that you're going to have move. Is that the wheel? It is. Y'all see me shuffling, and what did I tell you at the beginning of this read? The Wheel of Fortune. When I said being at the bottom, the wheel is going to go to the top. So for some of you, this is benefit for you while Jupiter is retrograde. So it might have been you've been stuck before, all tied up, couldn't go nowhere. You wasn't getting any information or phone calls back. And now you're going to get the movement. You're going to get the information. You're going to become more aware. Okay. So you need to analyze your perspective, figure out what you're going to do and how you want to do it, because it's telling you it's time to go. It ain't going to be no more, I can't make a move. I'm all tied up. I don't have the money to do it. The wheel is going to bring the money to you for you to be able to do something. Okay. Now, when Jupiter go back retrograde and you didn't make no move yet, you're going to be back in the same situation. So that means up until October. For some of you that this is a more longer travel, or this is something long distance for you. Also could be somebody coming in towards you as a new person, and they're coming in long distance, or they're from another part of the world, and you will meet this person with the man here in reverse. And what is your perspective about meeting somebody that's from another country, a different nationality, a different race? Because the wheel also is partnership and for husband. Okay, some of you may have your father coming in from out of town. And can you break free from work or get time off of work to spend with your father? All right, so I actually want to get one more on 8th house. So this is a new cycle that's starting for you. Soon as I said around the world, foreign travels, foreign affairs, solo, isolation, standoffish, separation, exchanged, lonely, and spread out. So I was clarifying the 8th house, right? So what's coming to an end is a major change, right? Is you being solo. A major change is that you are going to stop isolating yourself. You're not going to be as standoffish as you were. No more separation. Okay. So for some of you, that's somebody coming in, or finally, you're going to make a decision and break free, right? And separate yourself. That's a major change. A major change that no more loneliness. This also could be that, you meet somebody and they turn into a good friend. It don't all the time have to be love and intimacy. It always is very good to have a best friend, somebody that you can talk to, hang out with, talk to your problems and open up and be vulnerable. Because, actually somebody being my friend is way more important than somebody being my lover. Right. And I'd rather have a lover turn into a friend than trying to make somebody be a lover first. Your will is here. So let's go ahead and throw the tarot down. So there you go. Bottom of the deck. Get more info, clarity, research, documents, examine the fine print and important details. And again, Mercury right here is the awareness, many thoughts, many words, right? Also communicate, analyze, the magnifying glass. Get more info, analyze, get more clarity about a situation or clarity about your certain perspective. Okay. Before you sign also some information or any type of documents, make sure you read the fine print. That's also when you're applying for a job, when you're doing an interview. If you're going second house of Taurus about a home or mortgage or rental property, make sure that you are reading the details. Okay. Analyze the properties. See if you can get more documents about it. Make sure it's no no property tax that's due on it. All of that stuff, right? The magnifying glass. Get in more information about your travels, your plane ticket, Mercury is not retrograde right now. When is Mercury going retrograde? Let me see. I'm gonna have to find. Okay, so Mercury is going retrograde. One of you moderators write this down. Mercury is going retrograde in Virgo, starting August the 10th. Okay, I'm sorry, August the 20th through October the 25th. Okay, so I just gave you a timing. If that works for you and whatever you need to do in your life, Mercury will be going retrograde toward the end of the month, August the 20th through October. So that's almost like 2 or 3 months. So we got Virgo, Libra. Yeah. So it may go between Virgo and Capricorn, but starting August the 20th through October the 25th. So it may go retrograde for a month and a half or 30 days or something like that in Virgo, because it's only in earth signs. It's not going to be in air or water. Okay, so the other only earth signs that's left is Virgo and Capricorn. Okay, toward the end of this year, as we're going through birthdays, right? So we're about to go from Leo to Virgo, right? Libra, Scorpio. You see what I'm saying? So the only 2 earth signs left is Virgo and Capricorn. So if you're a Capricorn or a Virgo, then I'm telling you, when Mercury goes retrograde, or up until then, or when that time happened, it's something that you're going to need to get more information about. It could be about a relationship, a job, your home, anything, right? Some of you also may have a job where you inspect documents. You may be a researcher, where you're researching for property, or you're doing some type of legal research for a lawyer that tends to background checks. So you could be working for the government or the school, right? Stuff that you're going to have to examine a lot of fine print. Now that also could be about a person. Okay. So some of you may be starting to, do your research now before Mercury goes retrograde on August the 20th. Get the move on it. Do your research, because you may not get all the information that you need, or the lack of it, or the wrong information by the time Mercury goes retrograde August the 20th. Okay? Because the wheel is here. It's bringing you change. But if it brings you change and you do nothing about it, then what? You're going to be missing out. Yes, 5 of Wands in reverse. Other people, other situations are not going to be in your way. All right. And you're also not going to be in your own way. Because 5 of Wands also can be internal conflict, right? Especially when it's in reverse. When it's in the upright, it could be other people. You see his different hands here? That means that it's other people that's in your way. In the upright, the 5 of Wands usually is none of your problems. It's other people. Well, this first one. Well, can you let me borrow some money? The second one. Can I stay with you? The third one. Can I use your car? Right. Can you watch my kids? A spouse or a lover. A fight or argument. That's why it's all different hands here. It's other people's stuff that you feel vulnerable about on steady helping them. But when it's in reverse, this is all you. First house Aries. You can't keep holding yourself back. Some type of predicament. Okay. So vulnerability, movement, and a change of perspective is here. Some of you, it can just be, well, I don't want to work for until you get more information about the job that you do want. You need to change your perspective about it. Yeah. Collaborate, go to work, be a helpful person. You're ready to work, build on something. But you also need more information about what you're building on. 3 of Pentacles. So that can be from a person, that can be from an office, that can be like, how much money do I need to give or to put down to work with this mortgage company or bank? You know, that's just another example. 3 of Pentacles is you will be vulnerable to accept, see there, to a source in reverse, that you will be open very soon to work on something, whether it be a project, your entrepreneur skills, learning a new skill, working to get some type of certificate in something such as a trade. It also can be you deciding to work and collaborate and to get to know somebody. This is also you willing to be more vulnerable and work on a relationship that you already have. Okay. But it's still some information or important details that you're missing here. Okay. Remember that. Don't forget the 8th house. That something here is not stable. It's about to be a sudden shift. A shocking moment. Now, it don't have to be bad. It could be a shocking moment that you meet somebody and you actually like them. And it's a major change for you because you've been single 10, 12, 15 years. You don't have to be something bad, okay? And you're really open to collaborate with them, to exchange information, to be vulnerable enough to go out, to meet them. It starts to change your perspective about your own life, about the lack of desires that you have not been putting in for yourself or about yourself, really desiring something that you want to do. The 2 of Swords here, your blindfold is off, but you're still acting confused. I feel that this 7 of Cups is going to be like changing your perspective on you're not going to choose something bad. You're not going to choose another bad option. Okay? I feel that a lot of you have learned. You've learned your lesson. Something here is still confusing you. This is why I keep going over the magnifying glass. Okay? So important details that you're lacking, that you need more information about before to get you out of the 7 of Cups. Now, that also could be different choices. Do I go here? Do I move here? Do I accept this job or do I accept that job? Do I go out with this person or do I go back with my ex? Do I get a divorce? Am I ready to get married? Whatever those 7 of Cups is for you. Okay? But remember, cups are emotions and feelings. It's never mental. So something that you're emotionally connected to that used to cause you conflict and to be a challenge. But I feel that your 8th house transformation, okay, it's not as bad as it used to be. So now it's time for you to move on. The Judgment, Scorpio energy again. All right. So it's time for you to make a judgment call. You can't stay in the 7 of Cups forever. You need to pick a job, pick a career, pick a school, pick a person, pick a state, city, or country, pick a car, pick a house. Okay? Whatever this is for you, you're going to start feeling pressured to make a judgment call now. Movement, like I told you, right? All right, your last card. Now, remember that Venus will be moving. I got to find out the date, moderators, okay? But Venus is not going to stay in Cancer forever. So when Venus moves into Leo, some of you, it's going to be all or nothing. Do you want to date this person or no? Because the Wheel of Fortune is here is saying that it can go the distance. But are you willing to be vulnerable and to change your perspective about how you look at things? It's not necessarily the other person that's doing wrong. It's your fixed mindset of how you want to stay. about something. Okay. Oh, good. The moon card in reverse. So yes, when the sun goes into Leo, August the 15th through September the 15th. Okay, give or take or day, because it depends on where you're at on the other side of the world. Bottom of the deck. Oh, geez, the Tower. So this is going to be sudden. Remember I said that the Scorpio is a sudden shift, a shocking moment, something that was not stable. Now, I'm not saying that you are not stable. It's your surroundings. It's your heart. It's the only way you're looking at something. Your mindset. That job you're at is no good for you anymore. Okay? Your love life is not stable. Why? Because you don't want to be in love. So that means that it's not stable. I'm not saying you have to, but it's still like a residue of shock for a lot of you about a past relationship that did not go very well. So it left you in a frame of mind where that your perspective about people, love and relationship and or marriage is fixed. And nobody can change your mind about, certain zodiac signs, I'll never date them again because they hurt me. No, it's that person that hurt you and they so happen to be that zodiac sign. You understand what I mean? So now your perspective about a certain zodiac sign is locked in your mind, and that everybody around the world is the same. But everybody don't have the same DNA. Everybody don't have the same journey and destiny. It's just that person that you decided to marry or date. Okay? Not everybody. So the Tower moment is a shocking revelation and a change of your perspective, your surroundings, for a lot of you, okay, I'm going to throw out your door while I'm doing this. For a lot of you, okay, well, that was quick. I'm going to take it, but hold on. A lot of you may suddenly get a job. You may suddenly get fired. Some of you that has been celibate, you may decide to change your perspective and be intimate. Okay? Now, if you're celibate, then I'm not trying to tell you to do anything. I'm just saying, maybe you have been intimate before, but you just, until you meet and want to date or marry or get engaged, then you ain't doing nothing right. But I'm telling you what all the Tower can mean. You're suddenly moving out or being evicted, or you're suddenly being approved, the Wheel of Fortune, right? That you're approved for the mortgage or for the apartment, and you're getting a key. You're getting money from somewhere. You're able to buy that car or put down on a car. All of a sudden, you're in a relationship. You make the judgment call and you say yes. What is the Tower for you, right? All right. Remember that the Tower is Aries and Scorpio energy. That's already on the table. You're suddenly going to get back into your power. This is what your reading is telling you. It's waiting on you to make the call. Okay? It's waiting on you to make the judgment call. But your power is here, ready for you to obtain it back. So it's waiting on you to make the movement. You have to open up, be vulnerable, Also, Aries first house, stand up for yourself, make choices for yourself, and make the change. Allow the change to happen. If somebody all of a sudden want to break up and move out, let them. Don't stop it. Insecurity. So you're insecure. You see all the red going on here? You don't trust. Okay? So some of you are still angry, bitter, upset. You still are depending on other people's resources for something. Okay? Whether they're helping you with money, transportation, watching kids, you're living with somebody, whatever it is for you. All right? So until you have or make this judgment call for yourself, and I already gave you the time and everything, right? So let's read your cards and wrap it up. These are your 2 doors. The first one came out was distant dream. The distance calls your heart to roam free. Wow, that's cute. Let me see. Okay, so here we go. See that break free? Something or some situation, environment, or person is trying to tame you, but it's really time for you to not run wild, but it's time for you to break from that situation. Okay, now the totally opposite for some of you. If you have been not wanting to settle down, okay, the wheel is here that possibly can bring you relationship and or marriage. Now, it may not happen overnight. Of course, you have to start being vulnerable and open up to start dating the person. After you date them, you fall in love. You fall in love, you start working on it, right? Remember, I tell you that everything goes from 5th house of Leo, 6th house of Virgo, 7th, and everything, right? Okay. So, strong emotions, desires, sexual energy, motivation, and drive, right? So the distance calls your heart to roam free. As you dare dream it, so must it be. So you do have a distant dream. And it's telling you for movement so that you can go after it. That also could be that you can go after a certain person or they're coming after you. You don't have to be an ex, but it can be this new person that you haven't met yet. And whatever that they're leaving in their life, the situations that they're closing up, the judgment call that they're making a judgment that now is the time. I'm ready to break free, right? Travel, move here, move there, and that's how you meet them. Because they're suddenly going to do this out of the blue. They're ready to work on it. Okay, so the person will be coming in honest for you. They still may have some type of insecurity, but I feel that you do too. You know, you do too. You're open to it, but you're still feeling insecure about the perspective. Do I want to be vulnerable? Do I want to make movement back to them? Right? I'm confused because I don't want to pick another wrong person. I already know what your story is, right? I don't want to get tangled up in something and I can't unravel myself from it. I also don't want to be strong alone. Like I told you, 8th house major change. Either you're all in or you're all out. The wheel is here to bring the change in. A new cycle. A luck of the draw. Synchronicity. You may be somewhere at the right time to meet this person. And this is how it turns out like this. Then they become a love interest, a boyfriend or fiance. You know, if you're a masculine, then you become a boyfriend to somebody. You finally make the decision that you want to open up and do it. Right? All right. Your last card or your other card, this door here, was palmistry. Look at there. Fortune and tarot, collective destiny. The palm lines from birth tell your sacred palmistry. Listen to the notes of intuition. Now, the intuition is the moon. Now, we have a full moon on the 11th. Okay, we're going to do a reading for that. And it's going to be a full moon in Capricorn. Okay. Now, next month is going to be a full moon in Aquarius. So some of you are Cancer, Capricorns, Leo, and Aquariuses. Some of you are Pisces. I'm calling out relationship charts. Okay. Now, when you meet somebody, and because I didn't say that they're that zodiac sign, please remember that people are different in Vedic than Western astrology. Also, you don't look for their sun sign. You look for their ascendant. Okay. So I'm calling out. Let me go back over. And this is the end. Aquarius, Leo, Capricorn, Cancers, Scorpio, Taurus. Taurus is where Mars is right now. So this is the action. Okay. This is the action of the whole situation. Movement. Mars is a moving planet. It likes to get up, get stuff done. It goes after what it likes, right? It's also is a warrior, where you stand up for yourself. You tell people what you want and how you want it done. Okay. What else? I got all right, Sag and Gemini. What's in Gemini? Nothing no more, not right now. But Venus just left Gemini. And when Venus leaves a planet, she likes to try and set up a relationship. Now, Venus may not have been in your zodiac sign, right? But she may have been in a person that you're meeting zodiac sign. So you have to take all that into consideration. That everything don't have to line up about you. It can line up about the person that you're meeting. And this is why they're coming towards you and you don't know it. The Tower. So we got, I think that's everybody. Oh, Aries and Libra. Okay, so if I called out, if I called out those zodiac signs, right, then this reading particularly is for you, whether it's a sun or a moon, or second house ascendant. Okay, remember, second house is how people see you. People don't see you from your sun sign. So that's why it's very important that you know what your ascendant is. If you need a Vedic chart, and I'm not sponsored by these people, it's a link in my about section at the bottom of the page and at the bottom of the description box. I'm not sponsored by them, but you just put your time of birth and your city, country, and state or whatever, and you can create for free your Vedic chart, and you're going to be very surprised, right? If you need help, I help you to read it. We'll probably do that one day. And because some of y'all gonna have some action going on very soon when the sun goes into Leo. Okay. All right. Y'all have a good night, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye.